What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And we back. We're here. The trio is here. The Triforce is back together for the special edition War Games episode. Yesterday was Survivor Series, and we had to get together and drop this episode for y'all. But before we get into that, I go by Jay, the lonely one, Podbreaker, Pods and Reed, straight from Tsunami State. You feel me? But I'll be nothing without my co-host. Everybody's here today, but I'm gonna pass it off to the one, the only, the Quattro, Mr. Jericho himself. Go ahead, take it away from here.
Hail and well met once more to this grand assembly on this eve of Monday's tide. Attend closely as I present my own self. He be an unpredictable soul, the sovereign of beauty, the gallant lord of chances allure. He is a champion, and I am he. And for those who are new, what that means is he is the wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is Hero, and I am he. Welcome back.
Welcome, Sir Hero. Welcome.
Hold up. Create some space. Because I am the OTC of this pod. That's right, the other co-host. But today, I'm not wearing any Roman Bloodline gear. I have on Simone Werewolf, baby. Jacob Fatu, a.k.a. I'm Big Bruh, a.k.a. I love you, hero. Let's get to it, baby. Grab some raps. Let's do it.
That nigga say Big Blood. I'm Big Blood on.
I know, but I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'm Big Blood. I was waiting for it. Big Blood, nigga. I was like, oh, he about to say it.
It's
he about to say it.
Yeah,
he's
gonna mess up on TV and say it. He's gonna say it, bro. And yeah, he's gonna say it. That's all I'm saying. And when it happens, he from North California. What you want him to do?
I ain't gonna cancel him. But real quick.
Who else want to pat down?
Oh, shit.
That's right, the Mega Triangle powers are back, and the powers are so triangular that it forms the perfect slice of bread, sauce, and mozzarella that you put in your tiny baby turtle hands directly into your tiny baby turtle mouth while your rap father teaches you and your brother's karate, brother. That's how powerful that triangle is.
I can't stand this nigga, bro. It just be coming out of nowhere, bro.
Not me finding out that we're Ninja Turtles.
Hey, speaking of food real quick, before we get into all this, what's the cutoff for Thanksgiving food? Like, when should you stop eating it?
Tuesday.
So you go from Thursday to Tuesday?
It depends, because most of the sides should be gone by Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
If you have anything left over, it should be turkey, which is now turkey sandwiches, and maybe soup. Yeah.
I heard about that.
That's it. That's where it stops.
Yeah, turkey and ham should be like the only thing you still have. And maybe
I wouldn't even. Yeah.
And even then, like, you still reheat it. Like you could refry it on the skillet, but if you do it too much, then it'll get all dried out. And that's gross. But like I would say, turkey and ham probably should be the only by Tuesday. That should be the only thing you might still have. If you still got the fucking yams with the marshmallows on it, gross. What are you doing? Throw that away. You still got a pot of greens when it's all jellified on top. Gross. No. Throw that shit away.
Hey, what did Ply say? Thursday, you cook the food, you eat the food. Friday, you eat the leftovers. Saturday, you all right. Sunday, you pushing it. Monday, you're tripping. Tuesday, you're dead. Like at that point, just stop. You should be done by now. Back to regular food.
Yeah. I would say I think my cutoff is like Sunday. Monday is like that shit got to be fucking hidden. But like Sunday, I'm all out, bro. I'm all turkeyed out. Like yep. I need a pizza or something. Like I gotta get some regular food. Funny, that's cool. I just wanted to see where our heads were at right there. So news. Before we get into like the regular news cycle, we want to let the listeners know that we will be taking a 2-week break. I believe it's going to be the episode after Monday night or Saturday night main event. And we'll come back that first week of like the Netflix episode. So like we'll be here for the big moments for sure, and we'll definitely still be active on social media and everything. But we're taking a 2-week break. I feel like, we've been going pretty hard. We need some time to recharge before the new year, especially with the way the new year's looking. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about come January 1st. I think it's gonna be really, really high key wrestling time.
Yeah.
Plus it's Mania season.
Yeah, and spoiler, I don't want to throw my man under the bus, but Santa Claus has been kidnapped, and DT is the only person that can save him, and he has to help The Rock. So that's one of the reasons we're taking this 2-week vacation, is because DT.
He in Red One?
Yeah, he's in Red One. Please go see it before The Rock comes back beating up people. Or actually, don't go see it so that Rock can come back and beat up people.
Don't bother seeing the Red One. Like, go see Moana.
Yeah, please see that, because he will have a legit crash out if that goes bad.
Fair. Go see Moana. All right, Red One with Red Moana. Go for it. Yeah, so just stay tuned. But we do have some. Subscribe to the YouTube. That's all I'm gonna say. For the ones who listen and want some more Monday Night Wave content during that 2-week period, just subscribe to the YouTube. I have some special stuff dropping for y'all for sure. But yeah, news. First things first. Week start off kind of heavy. We see a lot of Ricky Stark's social media like topics. Ricky had the interview with Chris Van Vliet, where he's going over like just his whole career, what he's doing, why he hasn't been wrestling and whatnot. I think one of the big quotables was that like he didn't know why he wasn't being used right now. If that's what he said. He said he's healthy, he's ready to go, he's ready to work on TV, and he's just not being used right now. I think CVV also asked him why now why did you take the indie bookings later and whatnot or earlier? And he was like, he doesn't feel like he needs to take everything. He's very selective on what he wants to do and whatnot. And if the story's right, he'll go for it. But if not, he's not going to do it. So with that, for me, is like you had the ability to go out and do it, but he didn't want to do it based on the storyline. How do y'all feel about, Ricky's interview? How do you feel about, his choices of whether he doesn't want to wrestle, whether he does want to wrestle? What's the feeling here?
I completely understand in the sense where it's like if you don't want to take bookings willy-nilly, you don't want to go to Prestige or do whatever just to do it. I completely understand it. Like, there's a sense to where maybe you don't want to overexpose yourself. Granted, he hasn't been on TV since April, but it's like when you work with a company, like we all have our own jobs. Like, it's like someone saying well, since you're not on the schedule, why don't you just go do some extra Uber Eats or something? It's like, I shouldn't have to do that. I work for a company. I'm already employed. So if he doesn't want to have to do random indie bookings, then he doesn't have to, and that's very valid. What I liked about the interview, because we all talked about it off air multiple times, but I thought it was a good interview. Nothing salacious came out. Nope. Even the worst quote unquote journalists or podcasts, you couldn't spin anything he said in a bad way. So that's what makes what we will talk about in a second seem even more kind of iffy. No pun intended. Whereas he didn't even say anything bad. It was legitimately just a really solid interview. And there was a point where, Chris asked a question and Ricky's like, I have my theories, but I'm not going to say nothing on here because I don't even know why I'm not being booked. I have my theories. But he held, it was a very professional way that he answered all the questions and he handled himself. And Chris did a good interview as well.
He could have, Ricky could have attempted, if he really wanted out, or wanted to make it a contentious situation, he could have really tried to kick Tony's back in, and he didn't. So I think it says a lot to Ricky's character, no pun intended, but and him still wanting to wrestle, still be available. He wants to be seen. He wants to work. You know what I'm saying? Every day you got to prove yourself and show that you're capable when you're wrestling. So let him wrestle or let him go. That's all I got for it.
It's funny because, like, you know, the thing that I've been seeing a lot is does Ricky overvalue himself? Does Ricky think that he's bigger than what he is? And that's not for me to determine. I want you to go in as confident as possible, because if you're not confident, the crowd's not going to fucking believe you, or nobody's going to believe in you. But it begged the question of, like, does he put himself in the main event, you know, category? Is Ricky, you know, an AEW champion? Like, is he a WWE champion? Like, do we look at Ricky Starks that way? Is it potential there? Absolutely. But is that what it is currently? And I honestly don't know.
I mean, honestly, we shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't even be asking that question. I mean, whatever his potential is, whatever his ceiling is, that is what it is. But we can't really. How can we judge that if he's not on TV?
True.
And also, like, it's not like he's parading around on the internet or wherever, being like, for example, like what Matt Caster does, whether he's in character or not. It's not like he's like, I'm the best wrestler in the world, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, Ricky's pretty silent. Like, he'll post pictures and he might clap back at some trolls, but it's like it's not like he's claiming to be this higher echelon wrestler or anything. So, like, to me, I mean, I don't want to go racial, but to me that seems like it's a kind of a racial angle where it's like, this black guy, I think he's bigger than the company. It's like, we have no evidence that he's turning down storylines. We have no evidence that he's doing anything else other than just sitting at home working out. So, like, why are we like talking about his quote unquote attitude? To me, just it's not necessary.
Fair. And that's what I was kind of looking at too, to where it's like, why is it that it's an attitude angle with, like, Ricky and whatnot, right? I mean, granted, like I said, you have every right to be as confident as possible. And I don't like the idea that, you know, his attitude is the reason why he's sitting at home, because that's not the case at all. And it's very funny because, like you said, it does pop around every time we mention, like, you know, a black wrestler, black superstar, the attitude, are they worth this? Are they not worth that kind of thing? We said the same thing about Swerve and Mercedes a couple of months ago. Like, it's a tired conversation. It's a tired trope for sure. The funny, not funny, but kind of tie into it is you know, it's either let him wrestle or let him go, right? That's kind of what we've been agreeing on, especially because we all are not fans of, like, you know, holding people under contract and shit like that. Granted, none of us are in the wrestling business to speak on it. The practices have been practices for however long. That doesn't make them right, but, you know, it is what it is. That kind of ties into, tying into what Ricky's, like, you know, wrestling indies. We see that he also got pulled from GCW, right? He was doing, I think, a segment or a promo with Cardona. I thought that was like his angle.
So the quick timeline of the event, because that happened Saturday, the same day as Full Gear, which he was also at Full Gear. People, he was backstage there. But yeah, so earlier in that day, I don't know if it was Mall of America or it was one of those malls that it's had wrestling in there before. But yeah, he essentially was setting up a program with Cardona because they were going to have a match, which is what he got pulled from. So yeah, he showed up, he cut a promo, and the promo, again, it wasn't like salacious. It was more like, you know, you can't hold me back. I'm here, like I'm ready to fight, type of thing. You know, no one can hold me down. It wasn't so again, like, wasn't like he was throwing shirt or feet in the dirt sheets or anything like that. And then I don't know. And then fast forward, you know, then there's Full Gear. He's at Full Gear. He's in the backstage. He took pictures with people, whatnot. Then yeah, like some Effie interview comes out, and for those who don't know, Effie's he's an indie guy. I seen him before at a Prestige show. I actually have his autograph. I have Alex Shedley's autograph too. I have a couple. Well, shit, my bad. My back just got hurt from all those name drops I was dropping. But no, but like he's an indie guy, and I guess he has ties with DCW. That part I didn't know, but yeah, he had an interview and he was talking about how he feels slighted that they were doing a show at the Hammerstein and it was booked, and then AEW showed up to book the Hammerstein a month before them for like 3 nights.
Yeah.
Which in the wrestling universe, or even in the entertainment universe, you can understand why that's kind of a slight, because then you oversaturate the population or the market. I mean, like there's a reason where it's like, if I book something at the Moda Center, then AEW or whoever has to wait at least a month or 2 to do it because I was just here or I already have it booked. So that slight I do understand, but he was talking about his dad and essentially pretty much saying that he has a silver spoon. If you got the quotes, yeah.
I got the quotable. I can read it. Effie's words. I'm going to be frank. We announced the show. It's big. We're returning almost 3 years later to the date. And I don't know. There's no way to get it. It's not going to make me sound like a. I don't know. There's no way it's not going to make me sound like I could be like a jealous little bitch. Not only 2 weeks later, AEW announces that they're going to do the same venue 3 nights for them. It would be considered a smaller venue. Ring of Honor historically has used this venue. WWE has. ECW has. There's a lot of wrestling history in this venue. The current Ring of Honor is not what Ring of Honor was before. It's mostly just kind of like the AEW Dark program. I understand they want to do it. It's very exciting for people to do it. I don't understand why there's no exclusivity to wrestling. I guess we didn't negotiate it, but it's also very confusing. Like within the same month, y'all got to run the same venue as us. When for us, independent, this is a larger thing for you. This is a way to cover up the fact that Ring of Honor pay-per-view right now cannot sell out the tickets if you think it could. And even asking Daniel Bryan to come back for the last big one you did in Texas. And even asking Daniel Bryan to come back for the last big one you did in Texas to come to that show. Still wasn't that sold on tickets. And this has nothing to do with the talent. I think the talent, you should take anything you can get. But also, y'all have no buzz, no draw. And we've been riding the lightning of having to actually run a profitable company for the past few years. We don't have as much backup. I'll put it this way. My company, I don't run a company. Our company, GCW, can't run on a $40 million deficit and continue to run shows. But some of us have the privilege of being able to run at a $40 million deficit. Mm-hmm. So Brett doesn't own a football team. Brett doesn't have a dad who pays him to stay away. I don't want this to be a personal thing. But hey guys, you're not the only game in town. I'll end it here because a lot of it's like him just ranting on and whatnot.
Yeah, no,
but the shot was him like going at Tony and saying like I don't have a dad who doesn't want me away and whatnot. And then in the following line was like, I don't want to make it personal, which I was like, bro, what the fuck? That was as personal as it can get. What kills me is that in the same thing he says that WWE's run the event or run the place, ECW's run it, like y'all run it. What's the issue? You say like, yeah, you kind of block out these 3 days, which kind of makes it hard for our business to like, run and whatnot. But the thing is, when there's a pay-per-view in town, right, for WWE, they'll do Monday or they'll do Friday pay-per-view Monday. Or they used to do it like that to where all 3 shows were in like Saudi or fucking Chicago to like prevent traveling and whatnot. I don't know what the case is with AEW, but it's not unheard of to run 3 dates in the same place. Mm-hmm. I think that's been common in wrestling. These comments to the listeners got Ricky Starks pulled from GCW. Not just Ricky Starks, all the AEW talent that was supposed to be at the GCW show pulled. And therefore, kind of like, it doesn't look like the relationship is going to be healed anytime soon, but the relationship between them looks like it's not going to be a thing for a while. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think both WWE and AEW had talent going to GCW. Like there was crossover during those shows.
For
right?
Bloodsport, yes. The answer is yes, but it was also specifically Bloodsport.
For Bloodsport?
That's usually when WWE sends anyone, and it's usually like a Shayna or, because WWE, they work with GCW, but it's usually 9 times out of 10 it's Bloodsport. And
so
Shayna's there.
The question is, was it worth it? Was it worth to kill like the relationship based off like the dude you're doing business with? Especially when this whole time there hasn't been any sign that this is how Effie's felt about Tony publicly, except for now, to where like y'all been wrestling with each other. Like
Effie's been very public about Tony.
So then why fuck up the money? Maybe that's just how my brain thinks. Is like, what's y'all getting bread all over a venue? Was it worth to fuck over other indie talent who could be possibly working the show based on how you feel about them running a venue? It reminds me of the fucking Snowfall. Like, you don't like another way a nigga talk? Like,
well, yeah,
you gonna fuck with what?
I'm gonna let DT speak, but real quick is the best way to put it. Like, again, it's like when you have artists at Coachella, they're not allowed to perform anywhere near Coachella in like a 40-mile radius. To me, it's like very similar. It's like we had this thing, and all of a sudden you like book. We already had it booked, and then you just book it after I booked it and you book it before me, as far as like the month before me, and then you're holding 3 days, you're kind of saturating the market type of thing. And like I've been conflicted. I've been switching because I remember texting you guys the day after all this news or whatever. I don't like. Granted, those comments are there's some salt behind the comics, but I don't know if Tony had to like. I don't know if he had to pull people for it. It wasn't that salacious. It wasn't that rude. It's not the. It's also Effie. That's not the first person to ever say that. Like oh, you have your dad's. He's not the first person to say that. So that's why it makes like with this whole Ricky Stark shit that just came out, it makes it seem even more like you. It's kind of hard not to get even a harder side eye to it because it's like he didn't even say anything that bad for you to pull all your talent. It's really thin skinned to me. But DT, please.
But you don't know what can trigger somebody, right? Don't talk about my family could be huge to me, right? But I can't say what's sensitive to him may not be sensitive to me, like
that's true.
But it's like. Yes, the comments were light, but once again, at what point does Tony be like, yo, I'm not taking this shit no more. Y'all can't keep sitting here, shooting shots and not think there's no consequences. If this isn't the first time he done it, maybe he gave him the pass the first time he done it. Maybe it's like, okay, your boy tripping, but we can still do business. Oh, he doubles down. Fuck it, we out. Like, what you got, DC?
Oh, it's just it's him trying to show Flex's power. That's what it is. Now, granted. Because the question I was going to ask you is, and the initial answer might be obvious, or the initial thought process might be obvious, but who benefits more between the GCW and the AEW connection? That's a legitimate question for you.
GCW. I don't.
Okay.
Think, yeah.
Okay. So with that thought process, this is literally a power play of, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and let you speak on me how you think you can, and then there not be repercussions. So I'm going to pull all my star talent from you. But same token, booking the venue, holding up the space, all of those things, it's been done in wrestling before by other companies, ran by other people. And it just shows that this is how billionaires move. This is how people move. Like
business is business.
It's like, big bank take little bank, and is
all
it
the
wrong?
Time.
Absolutely. Yeah, but you can't drown the competition and then throw them a life raft in the same water you're drowning them in too. So,
and another thing is he could hypothetically, he still could have waited. And that's why I'm like, do you not have a PR team? Because again, you're doing this power play or whatever you want to call it right after the heels of this damn interview just coming out with Ricky and Chris. Mm-hmm. So it's going to make you look even if
for sure optics
the optics is going to look bad regardless. So it's like you could have waited. You could have waited till after that date and be like, all right, my talent's not working with you guys no more. You could just waited technically. So that's why, to me, it's like it's hard to not have that side eye because it's like, dude, do you not have a PR friend? Do you not have anyone on in your team to be like, yo, this is gonna look this is gonna look crazy on the net. Just wait, my nigga. You don't have nobody to be like, yo, let's just wait. You're not wrong. If the comments offended him and what you said is right, we can't determine anyone's sensitivity of what they take personal, whatever. But PR optic wise, it's like.
It looked crazy, but it's not. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't done in a malicious intent. Tony just didn't come out after the Ricky Starks interview with nothing said and pull everybody. He saw what the nigga said and was like, "Yo, this is trash. We out." With that being said, if you do pull him, right? Because they came out with statements that he's able to work other indie events and whatnot. I just think that if you pulled him, let's put him on TV, in some kind of way. Let's, figure this out to where hey, we saw that. We took away some income from you. We fucked up. Hey, you want to come, wrestle? A perfect example right now, I think Juice Robinson just got hurt, so he's not in the C2 right now. Let's throw Ricky in the C2. Let's get him, get him in here and get him on TV and whatnot to kind of make up for that income.
You got 4 shows. I mean, there's rumors that he's going to finally appear in ROH, but PR optic wise on the internet, that's not going to do well either.
Yeah, not after old boy said it's just AEW dark, but
I mean, that's what I call it. Honestly, I call it the Shadow Realm, and
that
because it is like
it wasn't a shot. That wasn't a shot. It's just the AEW Dark comments. They do have to do some defining with Ring of Honor. That's well known. But yeah, just use Ricky. Put him on TV. Get him on in some shit right now. Like especially if he wants to be used. Cool. Tying into more AEW stuff.
Well, I mean, we gonna talk about Phoenix because I feel like
I
feel like it all.
Yeah, that was the next.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, they're all together.
No, my bad. I didn't mean to cut off your segue. Shit, my fault.
No, you good. Ray Phoenix it's known that Ray Phoenix right now is signed. He's not being used right now. It looks like his contract runs until the end of summer, which we already talked about before. But he's healthy. He's not being used. There's no creative plans for him. He's just sitting at home. I think I said the last time when we had talked about it before to where like, if you're going to use him, use him. If not, it's fucked up that he has to sit, but this is the wrestling business. This is how it's always been. It's fucked up, but sit down, take your money and whatnot. I think Ray also came out with, an Instagram post yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he basically came out and said, where is this shit at? He said there are many things that are known, but also things that should not be talked about. We must weigh professionalism above all. We must behave professionally, not like those from all the other podcasts out there, spitting out things they should not spit out. Many are forgetting what wrestling has given, but in the end, we are not one of them. So this seems like it was a shot at, I don't know per se if it was at Conan or whatnot. But just basically at the podcast that kind of let out the information beforehand, the things that just shouldn't be talked, be professional, maybe if the professionalism was there, we wouldn't have been in the situation. It seems like he's taking a lot of accountability for what happened. He's also like, hey, wrestling giving me a lot. He paid me while I was sitting from what I'm reading at. He paid him while he was sitting. He's getting paid now. Like if he has to sit, he has to sit. How do we feel about him coming out just now and kind of mentioning the podcast and the professionalism? We saw that Penta had mentioned it around that time too, where he's like, my presence in AEW and whatnot, and they were like, yeah, whatever, nigga. How do we feel about Ray coming out now and kind of like trying to clear the air?
It's fine, but it doesn't make it. This last week, with all the stuff that's come out with the Ricky Starks thing, we saw that Penta is finally quote unquote free from his contract.
His contract, yep.
which emphasized like, oh yeah, no, but Ray's not like, and there's just no point. Like people have been calling Tony McMahon all week, and there's a reason for that, and it's because again, optic wise, none of this looks good.
No, the lawsuit's kind of crazy. Like, Tony McMahon is nuts considering what Vince is actually going through right now.
Right, but This is where my problem lies, because it's the whataboutism, where it's like, well, because I saw someone tweet is like, well, Tony never publicly embarrassed a talent, which that's a lie because he did that with Big Swole.
He did,
but it's the workers. It's like people like myself or other people would not be giving Tony the shit that he's been getting this last week, if not just this last year, if he didn't come out like bells and whistles, fireworks and all shit saying we're workers' rights, we're pro this, you're gonna get health insurance, you're gonna get all these things, everyone's getting equal pay. He did a whole campaign, he did a whole campaign on some presidential shit. Like, this is what we're doing. This is why our company's different. And then 5 years in, you're doing the same shit that everyone else was giving Vince shit for. Like, I remember the hashtags of Free Ali. I remember the Brody Lee stuff, and it's the same. It's the same thing. But then there's certain people that want to pick and choose what's right and what's wrong, and it's like, right, we have to keep the same energy. That's my whole big thing about it. And it's like, you're not using them. Okay, then let them go. You're wasting money.
But if he's paid
you have so much talent, yeah. But
if
you have
paid
so
much talent while he was injured, do we not recoup the money? Like, how does that work?
Then use him. At least with Ali, Vince was still booking him weekly. True. Brody Lee was still on TV. With Ricky and Phoenix, at least make them work. You can job them out, sure, but just having people sit at home when you could get rid of that and use that money to get someone else. That money could have went to another free agent possibly, or whatever the hell. Like do something. Like either do something with them. I don't know, man.
Or
It's weird.
it's do something or let them go. That's kind of how we feel about it. I'm 1000% with y'all.
I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take a shot. I haven't paid much attention to Tony Khan's dealings until after the CM Punk interview with Ariel Hawani, and I think I talked to Hero about this before. But so my perspective as someone who is new to like paying attention to AEW and following the wrestling and everything else is after those comments that was made where CM Punk essentially came out and said he's not a boss, it feels like he has been doing everything he can to establish his dominance amongst his talent. Now, whether that's legitimate or not is how it appears to me as someone who's brand new watching, and every week it seems like there's an issue with a wrestler that's not wrestling or a contract or an extension of this. Like it's all I'm being inundated with as it pertains to TK at this moment. So that was my take on it. Again, like the three of us have said multiple times, let him work or let him go. I don't necessarily have an issue if someone was legitimately injured, they couldn't wrestle, and you wanted to, get the use out of the contract, get the use out of the wrestler. Yeah. That makes sense, recoup. But it looked like it was the Lucha Bros are going to go to WWE. And he put a nix on that and was like, no, and now I'm extending your time to prevent them from taking that next step. That's what it looked like to me as someone who is starting to pay attention and all of those things. So you can't stand on, like Hero said, workers' rights comps and we're going to do X, Y, and Z, but then also in the same hand, then employ the tactics that you denounce and you don't like just because it's beneficial for you. So if you're going to do it, do it.
I feel like you are right. I feel like with Tony, it's the be a boss. You're a good guy, not a boss, and so he's like overemphasizing the boss element. To kind of like make it seem like he's that guy or he's the boss. But I also feel like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If he's like the nice guy, let everybody go. It's not serious. Everybody can take the talent whenever they want to. But I also think that the common denominator from what I've seen with, let's say this is me conspiracy theory, theorist, with Ricky, with Penta is WWE. It's mentioning WWE while under contract, right? That's the big part, is that these rumors are coming out while y'all still signed and y'all have like couple 6 months, 7 months, whatever left on your contract.
Is it coming from them though? Is it coming from the wrestlers' mouths themselves?
Yeah,
that's Ricky. The thing. With Ricky ain't said nothing, but Ricky
I was about to say Ricochet because there was rumors Ricochet was leaving, and he was still on TV weekly. Get beat up in front of his girl, as DT likes to say, but he was on TV weekly.
For sure. But I don't think it was like, oh, we heard about Ricky leaving from like, somebody on the dirt sheets or some shit like that. Or from like, somebody who they had a relationship with in like Conan, because Conan was on AEW TV, and then now he's not, and that now it's fuck Tony, and now it's like, oh, they're going to leave and go to WWE. Anyway, I have high sources that's saying XYZ. I think it's the way the information is coming about, which also shouldn't stop you from like, hey, y'all go. But at the same time, like, are y'all having contract talks while you're already under contract? Those are things that you can't prove, and you can't. We don't have any like credible information to say that. But
if you can't prove it, and it's not coming out of the wrestler's mouth while they're working for your promotion, you can't Well, you shouldn't. I'm not gonna say you can't because clearly he is, but you shouldn't punish the wrestler. I'm being professional. I'm showing up. I'm working. I'm doing what I have to do here for my contract. If it's not directly coming from them, whether it's at a media source or they're leaking it somehow or they're posting it on Instagram or, God forbid, they're on a show on the mic or hot mic and they're doing whatever. Like, if they're staying within the realm of your promotion while they're there, if something comes out, something comes out. You can't, like, if I tell someone close to me, I tell my girl, like, you know what I'm saying? And I tell her not to tell nobody. And she tells somebody, like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. And the thing is, like, we have seen that they have had some AEW talent has been in contact with like WWE talent, or WWE talent has been in contact with AEW talent. I think the biggest one is that
They're all friends.
even Swerve had tweeted out that like somebody checked on the word that they use is "Are you available?" And so like they're getting texts from maybe not H, but somebody over there like, "Hey, are you available?" So they're in contact with them kind of individuals, and we don't know what those text messages look like, nor do I want to be privy to that. I'm just a fucking podcaster, but communication has been had before, and there has been times where talent has been poached from AEW. We did see the Regal get dropped. Then while Regal was under contract, we saw all these things before. Tony has every right to feel how he wants to feel. Like I don't knock it, but that's who he is, or that's what it's proven to be right now.
Right.
We can spin out of this though. We've talked too much about this. Keeping on AEW, then we get into like the pay-per-view. It looks like they're changing venues from Grand Slam in Brisbane to a smaller venue. I think Brisbane was like 60,000. The original venue was like 60,000. This one dropped down to like 15,000. And from the looks of it, like you kind of overshot. You shot for the moon. And I think they knew that if it didn't work out, they had a backup plan. Going to smaller venues for AEW looks like their move for all of 2025 anyway, which I feel like is a great move for them. And even with that, when they at first announced Brisbane, I seen that some of like the New Zealanders and Australian people were like, "Why would you even go there? Like, it's kind of hard to even get over there. It's not a big city. It's not like a big major market for like wrestling in general." So I think they just overshot. And there's no, I mean, I won't say you fucked up, but you just recalibrated, realized that okay, we're not making the ticket sales, and they just move. Is there anything that you want to add to this? Anything deeper than that you think? Any theories, thoughts, comments?
It's smart business. I think for the last year, it feels like there's always someone at a show taking a video or a picture of, no, there's nobody in here, it's empty, blah, 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 blah. I think at the end of the day, if you have a smaller venue, it makes the crowd appear more hot, which will make the event more lively, which will make it more fun. So to me, that's like, do that. If you're not doing 20,000, 30,000, 10,000, whatever, but you're doing 8, 9, 9.5, 10, whatever the case is, but the crowd is hot, the crowd is live, it's going to appear and look like a better product.
Correct.
More people are going to be bought in. And then you can create the demand because you're selling out, whether the venues are small or not, you're selling out. People are showing up. People can't get in. Those kind of things, or tickets are going fast. You create the demand by going to a smaller venue. So I think it's a good decision. Like sometimes, like you said, you got to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Smart move. I mean, I've spoken multiple. I feel like I've been on the pod multiple times saying that like you guys should do smaller stuff. Like when they first came to Portland, they were at the Memorial. Second time they were at the Moda. And it's like, what are you doing there? You guys barely sold out the other one. The thing that irritates me with this whole stuff, because I do think this is a good move. The thing that irritates me is all these other people like SRS and all these other pages making it seem like the light bulb finally clicked. Like, oh, this is just so good of them to finally do these smaller. Like, we as a collective, we've been saying this shit for like over a year. So I don't like the energy where it's like it makes it seem like Tony, he just had a brilliant idea. Now we're going to do smaller venues, and it's like everyone's been saying that for a while, and they've been saying it for the exact reason what DT just said. So I don't like, because to me it gives the energy where it's like you tell someone like, oh man, you should you look thirsty, man. You look sick. You should drink some water, and you say no. And then 5 minutes later, you come back to me like, you know what? I look thirsty. I should drink some water. Just so that just because it's your idea. Like now you want to listen. That's the part that upsets me. But that has nothing to do with TK or AEW as a whole. It's mostly the other people that are like gassing it up. And it's like, dog, we've been saying like what the trolls and the passion people alike as a collective. We've been saying the same thing. So. I just don't like that part of it. But I think it's a smart move. It's the move we've been talking about. It's a smart move. It just came out. I want to say it came out the week before, and they were like, the reason we haven't done smaller venues is because our stage is too big. Get a smaller stage, nigga. Like WWE did it in a week after Mania. They were like, you know what? We're selling out too much. We got to get a smaller stage. So I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get it done fast enough. I just don't like that as an excuse. But overall, to end it. It's a good move. I just don't like the capping from the internet personalities. And it's like, come on, you guys.
Yeah. In closing, I think they've known. I think we just the way we had pre-production, we talk about shit behind the scenes and whatnot. They had to have talked about, what smaller venues look like. I don't think this has been a brand new idea that they're like, oh my God, let's do it. I think that they've definitely been, backstage going at like the analytics, what the numbers look like. You have to, like, you come from a NFL like background, you know what big crowds look like, you know what selling out venues look like, all the logistics of what that entails. So maybe now like they're just listening and they're going to follow through. And the thing is, getting the deal, the WB deal, and then running small venues is just going to save you money in the long run. You'll be able to do more on TV in smaller venues with this fucking big bag that you guys got. So hopefully that's the case. I like where this is going. We'll just see what 2025 looks like for AEW. But now, enough about that. Let's jump into War Games. War Games was in was it Vancouver, BC? So it was up in Canada.
Little 6 hour hike.
Little 6 hour. First things first, I'm gonna get this out the way early. I don't have anything. I have no issues with this pay-per-view.
I don't see why anyone would have issues with the pay-per-view.
I think this is the
good
best
show.
This is the best WWE show I've seen all year.
Really?
Nigga, I mean, Mania still happened.
Well, no. Mania doesn't count.
Okay, all right.
Mania doesn't count, bro.
Okay.
That doesn't count. But I think out of all the shows that we've talked about, I think this is the better like non-Mania WWE show I've seen. I have nothing to complain about. Everything fit. There wasn't like, a lot of like interference or like DQs or like bullshit. But like, we'll talk about that. But overall, I don't have any major gripes with the show.
Okay.
I got nothing.
That's good. I don't know.
And now we gonna see as we talk. Maybe it might jump down from an 8.5 out of 10 for me to maybe like an 8, depending on what we say.
The way DT feels with his first match, we'll see.
Listen.
Okay, let's get into it. Women's War Games kicks off the show. We got Rhea, Naomi, Bailey, Io, Bianca versus Nia, Candice, Tiffy, Liv, and Raquel. I'm gonna pass it off to my colleagues here to take it off. Mr. Hero, would you lead us off into the Women's War Games match, and how do we feel?
Okay, yeah. Women's War Games. It starts off with Bailey, and it starts off with Nia Jax. Now that's where I'll stop talking, and I'll let DT take it.
Let's do it, DT.
How y'all just lob it to me? Listen,
because I mean, they saying your girl looking like Celtic Shaq.
Yeah,
they saying
Celtic Shaq is crazy.
She T-Mac in a Spurs jersey. They saying she AI in the Pistons jersey. Like, what's going on here? The internet's going at Nia Jax kind of crazy right now.
That's tough that y'all gonna put me in this situation to do this, but I guess somebody got to do it. It wasn't. I didn't like it. The first, and I actually got it planned right now. The first 38 minutes of the match, it wasn't that great. They looked a little off sync. I'm gonna keep it cutesy and demure, very mindful. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great to me. It wasn't until Liv and Rhea got in the ring, and then you know what I'm saying, we got an appearance from EO's favorite partner, the Trash Can, that stuff really started to heat up. First and foremost, none of the women could find their weapons getting to the ring. That was crazy. They're running like, how do you not tell them where things are at under the ring? They got 5 seconds to get down there. You got people fumbling, looking for trash cans, looking for kendo sticks, chairs. They should know where everything is at. Somebody should have told them where the weapons were at. EO seemed to be I think EO didn't even know where her trash can was at. Her trash can was on the other side. Yeah, her trash can was on the other side of the ring. The entrance is over here. Her trash can's on the other side of the ring. Yeah, she had it tied around her neck, climb up. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. Then we get the moments where there's a lull. Obviously, they haven't wrestled in a little bit. They had a break. We get the lull, and Nia turns into Hogan on WCW with a chair.
I definitely saw that on there.
And I was embarrassed. I wanted them to pan to a different camera angle so it looked better. It was tough. It was tough for me to watch. She's still the champion. She still got my heart from a wrestling standpoint. She's dominant. Everybody have a night off, but that's all. That's all I could give her. But that was bad. I think.
So all right, real quick. Okay, so so with War Games as a whole as a gimmick match, I feel like it's hard to get into War Games personally because the match it doesn't start literally until everyone gets in. So there's a lot of rest. There's a lot of resting. There's a lot of this person is sleeping for 5 minutes because they got the ass whooped the first 10. A lot of all this stuff. So for me in War Games matches, it's kind of already it's already hard to get into a lot of them. Out of all the women's war game matches that I've ever seen since it became a thing, I will say that this is probably the sloppiest one, and at least from the start, because once everybody gets in, shit gets active, and then shit like instantly picks up, and it's a fire match. The first 30 minutes, though, it's kind of a slog. It's a chore, and I mean, but that goes for the men's too. But this particular men's one, it was different, and I think that's more because it's a 4-year storyline that's been built into it on top of all this other shit, adding Punk and all. There's a lot of moments in there to where it wasn't such as a slog, but like you look at last year's men's one where it's, I don't know, War Games matches, it takes 30 minutes to like literally get into it. So that's why I think there's a problem. But I would be lying if I say the women's one didn't start off a little sloppy. So it started off with Bayley, Nia, then Naomi comes in, then Candice, then Bianca, then Tiffany, then Io, then Raquel, then Rhea, then Liv. Then the match starts, and then shit it's all cylinders from there. And yeah, you get spam finishers, you get people put through tables. It was good shit.
So I'm gonna say something that's kind of a little hypercritical, right? I think War Games is kind of living off of like, you know, the past, right? And just the NXT Black and Gold era, what War Games was. I think doing it on like the WWE stage of, you know, a non NXT show, it's not as hype as it was. You know, when you think about War Games, you think about the Black and Gold, you think about the Undisputed Era and like the Pat McAfee shit that they had going on back then. Like, there's a lot of hype in that, and I don't think you can get as destructive as those matches were because it is NXT. Overall, though, I will agree with you guys saying that like it was a slow start. One of my notes is that a lot of the setup kills the momentum of the match. Like when you're waiting for somebody to come out, like, oh shit, here comes Raquel, and like she's looking for a table, and then like she pulls the table out and leaves it out for the next spot. That when Rhea comes in, it's just like this has to be put together a little bit more like effectively and efficiently.
There was too many weapons. I feel like less weapons,
but they're big weapons. If you come in like a fucking bat like Liv did, or like, you know, a chair or whatever, but like when they're setting up tables, like it slows things down. You know, it just slogs the thing. Well,
and it slows it down because almost every single person was getting weapons. Like when we talk about the men's, like Jimmy, he got straight active. Like, and I was like, like he went in there, it was all hands and feet. But it's like every single person's looking for a weapon, and then when you can't find it, then they got to go to the next part.
Right.
Our team ain't even playing. Hold on one second.
While he doing that, I'll say this: I thought that there was going to be a storytelling element with the toilet seat.
So did I.
Because obviously before, when Bayley and Nia were promoting their match, Nia was calling her BBL Bayley and all these other things. So I'm thinking
BBL Bayley. BBL Bayley.
Anyway, I'm thinking that there was going to be a moment in between them where one of them backs it up on the other one in the corner, does a little hip thrust, you know.
We saw somebody back it up.
We did, but I thought specifically that it was going to be a moment between Nia and Bailey with the toilet seat, which also a toilet seat like topper that's genius. I hope they put that in 2K25. They got to put that in there.
Yeah, wrapping the toilet seat around your head. I was like, where did this come from? And then when the toilet seat breaks, to take the lid of the toilet seat and attack people with it, I'm like, I like it. Here's something else though, is that like there wasn't a lot of Candice activity. Like the back half of the match, like there wasn't a lot of Candice. I think after Candice did that spot with Io, where like Io's supposed to do like it's like the turnbuckle powerbomb thing where she's getting pulled from off the top of the cage, and Io's supposed to flip down and have Candice go with her. Candice hangs on the cage, and rightfully so. Don't take that fucking spot. It's a fucking crazy spot. But after that, I didn't see a lot of Candice. I thought Candice was supposed to like be a part of the match, and she just kind of disappeared in the back half. Overall, though, the reason why I don't have this match as bad as everybody else is because the back half was that great. Once they all got in there, it shot the shit up like immediately, bro. Like the energy was up. Everybody's getting active. We're seeing chair shots. We're seeing kendo sticks. We're seeing the trash can shit. Also, we gotta put. I'm putting Io on Darby watch. Ain't nobody supposed to get in put the trash can on their head, can't see shit, and jump off. Even her presser, the presser, she was like, I just put it on, I just jumped off.
I mean, she does it every year though. That's her spot. Like
that's
honestly,
the thing though. You're still gonna be on Darby watch. You do it every year. You are crazy as shit. And to not have any explanation. She didn't say, I trust the people behind me. I know they're gonna catch you. She's like, I just jump. Like, what the fuck?
They gotta catch me. Because if they don't catch me, we're gonna be in here messed up. They gotta catch me. It's the signature Kofi Rumble.
Yeah.
Signature Kofi Rumble. Yeah. Like that's their thing. We also get in this match we get the tease of the cash in, which was great because I thought
it was stupid.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it because it changes the match dynamic. Like even Cole and Graves were like, well, what would happen if this does? And it's like, yeah, what is the math of this? So you're gonna have a match within a match that's within a match? This is not Inception.
This is wrestling, bro. It's Inception, bro.
I got a burger in top of a pizza that's inside of a taco. Like, no, like what the fuck? Like, and also like another reason I didn't like it because I'm sick of this tease. We're gonna get this fucking tease that's one of the reasons.
I told you.
That's like when people were shitting on Damien all last year. It's the same thing. Like, you don't have to tease it every match. I don't know. I didn't like the tease. I didn't like that spot. I think there was some spots that just weren't produced that well, and I'm not trying to shit on the producer, and I'm glad they didn't give us the name. But it's like there was a spot where
it was probably Michael Hayes.
No, he's been gone.
Oh, I know.
No, he came back. I thought he came back. Yeah, I thought he's back.
Yeah, he's back. That's why I said that. I was just trying
like the spot with it would look goofy. It was like Bianca using her hair, and Bayley was also using her hair to whip somebody. That looked goofy as hell. I don't know. There was just some goofy ass spots, but overall, the match is still. To me, the match was still good. I just think there was some choices. We didn't need that tease in cash in.
The pan out of like the moonsault. So remember, like Io and Tiffy are both doing their backflips or whatever. It's like I think that could have been shot a little bit better to where you capture both of them doing it at the same time. But they kept panning from one to the other, and so you lost. I don't think I seen the Tiffy backflip. You just saw the Io one. That was kind of a little iffy to me. The braids were like Nia's beating up everybody with Bianca's like hair was kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, that was. It just looks goofy.
And the reason why the cash-in also looks kind of crazy because it's so unbelievable. It's like you're not about to use the cash-in inside War Games, bro. Like, we know this is not going to happen. Like, it doesn't work out that way. And it's not even in Tiffy's character currently on TV to where she's like the ultimate opportunist. Like when Edge had Money in the Bank or whatever, he's looking for any fucking moment to like pin somebody. That's not the story that they're telling with Tiffy. So that's also why I was like, all right, bro, like put this shit away.
I would have been okay with it.
You keep showing this gun, you're not gonna shoot nobody.
I would have been okay with it if she actually would have cashed in and then just left immediately, and then so the heel team is down one person. Then it gives them even more reason for the baby faces to win. But since they didn't do that, stop teasing me with it, please.
Right.
Because we know H is. I mean, the new era has been really good at still like hitting us with swerves and pulling the feet under our rug and whatnot. But it seems like we're getting the bully and the bully's apprentice. Finally getting sticking up to the bully at some point. But like Nah, I don't know.
Match was good at we talked about. Match picks up at the end. Baby faces get the win here with the fucking Riptide to Liv off the fucking turnbuckle into the table. Great fucking spot. Love that. Also, great fucking gear for Rhea. Love the fucking gear. Like, that shit was fucking fire. And then the slight nod to Buddy Matthews with the face paint. That shit was clean too. I love that too. So overall, solid opener. Could have been better. There was some slogs, but they definitely picked up on the back end. Next match is LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for United States Championship. First things first, Shinsuke had that shit on. His entrance was fucking fire. I like the simplified version of the theme. I like the fact that like it's not the upbeat version. This is the more darker themed version.
Yeah, that shit was too hype on Friday. It was like we got to make this shit more.
Yeah. And the thing was, the Friday one was hot too. I like that one too.
Friday one, I want to put that in the car. Nigga, that Friday one was fire.
That Friday one was fire.
It's a workout playlist song.
So, LA Knight, he loses here, guys. He loses the United States Championship, which is also crazy, because the fucking pop was phenomenal. How do we feel about the match? And then also, how do we feel about, Shinsuke coming in after, 2 weeks of being on TV, 2 or 3 weeks, and winning the belt? First singles pay-per-view win since 2020 for Shinsuke. How we feeling? What's the overall feel for the LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura match here?
I thought it was the right call. And the reason I thought it was the right call is because, and DT and I were talking about it when we were talking about his thread. I thought it was the right call because when he revamped his character last time, when he had those matches with Seth and those matches with Cody, he lost all those goddamn matches. The character was cool. It was like, seeing the animation, the anime fucking promos and all this other cool shit. Like, it was dope. But he was taking a lot of L's. So, like, revamping his character again and debuting another new character, if he would have lost another match, granted, I don't know, it would have hurt the character if he would have lost this. Unless he would have lost because of, the mist or something, and then they just run it back real quick. But, honestly, I think it's fine. And then also it gives LA Knight a chance to, I don't want to say get humbled, but a chance for his character to grow because he's not Teflon. And he knows that now also. And I think it's a change of scenery also. So yeah, I was fine. That's why I was fine with it. And I love Shinsuke, and you need some W's. So.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised, pleasantly shocked. I did the prediction thread. I just didn't see them putting the strap on, putting the belt on Shinsuke. But I'm glad they did. I am glad they did. Hero, like he talked about, when Shinsuke came back last time and he was targeting Cody and targeting Seth, he was targeting their injuries and all of that, and it just wasn't, for whatever reason, he wasn't winning, which both of those two were really hot. But I'm really glad that he won. It gives LA Knight a chance to chase now again. Which was when he was at his peak, his hottest. We'll see what happens now. I think also, too, it gives... because he's already beaten all of the people that were in the mid-card with him. He's beaten Carmelo, he's beaten Andrade, he smacked Escobar around, unfortunately, which I got a personal vendetta about that one. But, so it's like, who was going to beat LA Knight at that point? Just based on how he's been booked. So... somebody coming in, someone he hasn't, if I remember, I don't think he's wrestled Shinsuke before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's a wrestler you haven't wrestled before, someone, King of Strong Style, Ken Sasha back of the neck. I thought he was going to kick out, but they protected the finish, which was fire too. It wasn't a false finish.
Like that.
I like that. He hit him with that shit, and LA was done. I was like, okay, that's how you handle a new villain. Yeah,
And
I'm
then
saying handle a new villain.
he didn't even use the miss. That was a cool part too. Which that miss shot on Friday was fucking fire. The nonchalant. He just did a sidestep. All he did was a sidestep and then spit in that nigga's face. Pause. That shit was fire. I paused it.
Yeah. You did. My thoughts are there's a couple. One, I'm looking at like the title run, right? Logan Paul, Santos, Ludwig, Andrade, Melo, Andrade and Melo, Berto, Santos, and then Shinsuke. And as I'm looking at the title matches for the United States run, it feels a little mid. It feels a little like there wasn't a lot of like story. The biggest story for him was Logan Paul.
I mean, it is a mid-card title.
It is. But as far as like story-wise, like there was no like, like what's the biggest story that he's had during this run? And I feel like it was the Logan Paul story, like the build up to him getting it. Afterwards, it was, of course, the best of 7 stuff, which we kind of had our, indifferences on like how he should incorporate himself in that. But I don't know if there was a memorable moment besides best of 7 and Logan Paul.
And his special guest referee.
I understand. I understand this question. I do, but I think I don't know. I think when we ask these kind of questions, we are toting a line that just doesn't make any sense. To where like we're evaluating every single move that the champion makes in their storyline. Like, was the reign good? Yes or no? And to me, the reign was good. Like, if we're judging it based off of we weren't doing this shit with The Rock or Stone Cold or Triple H when we were younger. Like, and now in today's age, we're doing this with every champion. It's scientifically proven. And I'm gonna say it's a fact. Baby faces are better when they're making the chase. They are. Like when hopefully Cody loses the KO, and then guess what? People are going to be even more hot for him, and he's going to get a fucking game because people like it's the same thing. Like soon as Cody's 2 months, people are like, I don't really like it. Like we're doing the same shit, and it's like you could do that with every champion on any program because that's how I like what you just brought up with LA Knight. That's how I felt about Swerve's run. Does it make me right? No, but it's
but there's 2 parts to this question. I didn't get to the second part of the question.
Okay.
Well, I brought up the reign to like. Just similar to how we talked about Priest, right? To where like, did this elevate LA Knight into a different stratosphere? Or was he already there, right? My question is like, it's not to talk shit about his reign. It's just like, was he bigger than like the title itself? Was he bigger? Was the pop for LA Knight bigger than the mid card? Once he got it, it was like, damn, this motherfucker's out of here, and we don't actually have the proper like channels to like put him up against, which is kind of why I think when Hero said he needed to be humbled a little bit, right? Because LA Knight was smoking fucking hot. So with this, do we keep him here or do we elevate him into the main picture? Is LA Knight main event level now?
I'm going to say not yet. And the only reason why I'm going to say not yet, there's too many larger stories that need to happen before introducing him into the main event picture on SmackDown in particular.
Yeah.
I think if you try to introduce him into the main event picture or main card, or not main card, I'm sorry, main title, the picture right now, he's going to get lost because there are too many stories that the universe cares about that we want to see happen before we get an inkling of LA Knight stepping into the picture and it's stepping to whomever may have the belt at that time. So I wouldn't do it just yet. Maybe he takes a little break. Maybe him and Shinsuke have a run or whomever. But I wouldn't put him in the main picture, the main card, or the main title picture just yet.
I think he runs it back with Shinsuke. I think that definitely happens. I think Shinsuke gets the best of him there. With the shakeup happening on, for Netflix, we're seeing SmackDown superstars already kind of rumored to be on Raw and whatnot. Are we opposed of a Gunther versus LA Knight?
For LA Knight, I'm opposed of it. He ain't gonna make that one. You putting him in deep water. You not listen. Gunther not finna let you hop up on the ropes and fuck up his match. It's not happening. So
also he did do that. He did that shit. I thought of Hero when he did the fucking hop up shit. And he slipped again. I was like, Hero. I know Hero saw this shit. Like, bro, this nigga again. Like every time he does that shit, I was like, yep, he's not gonna like that shit.
I fucking hate it. I hate it. But to go off of what DT said to further that point, also is just. Like who is he going to pass up? because he's not passing up Kevin Owens. He's not passing up Randy Orton. He's not passing Roman Reigns. I mean, Solo's been a lot better. You take it to Raw. You gonna pass up Seth? No, like
Punk?
Drew, absolutely not. And it's like, and when we talked about it last week when we were talking about Ricochet or whatever. Like, there's nothing wrong with being one of the hottest mid card acts on the planet. Like, he's always in the top 5, like, or top 10 merch sales. The crowd pops crazy for
every
him.
time.
He's fine.
Yep.
He's fine.
Oh,
you getting money. You selling your merch. You're on TV. You held the belt. You yesterday while we were watching it, right after Shinsuke won, I turned over to her. I was like, bro, I need that LA Knight belt with the print on the strap. I want that belt. I don't know if it's available, but they should make that belt available.
If LA Knight won Rumble, would that help?
No.
Okay.
Because who's he gonna? None of him winning Rumble is not gonna put him above the CM Punk Seth feud that has to happen. It's not gonna put him above KO and RKO when that needs to happen. Cody, and if they do The Rock, hopefully The Rock shows up. Like, there's just too many stories that we have been invested in for over a year, right? That we want to see the payoff for. We still want to see. I'm gonna speak for me. Still want to see The Rock and Roman, somewhere. Somewhere, please. Like, at this point, put it on Backlash. Like somewhere. But like, he's there's too many things that are happening right now at this moment.
That's fair. I only say that because, we are in Q4. We're in the end game now, fellas. So this is where, shit is starting to pick up for Mania season and whatnot. Would I like to see LA Knight get in that main picture at some point? Yes. I don't want him to be a mid-carder forever. And I think he's very credible to be in that area. But similar to, like we said before, being a mid-carder is not a disrespectful term. We talked about Jey Uso last week. We talked about LA Knight. We talked about these are, credible money-making, superstars. Speaking of money-making superstars, Sheamus, Ludwig, Braun Breaker, IC title.
Match of the night for me, personally.
I was going to say it was really tough between this one and the Gunther match, but I think this is my match of the night as well. Them boys are getting at it. They was active as fuck. And Sheamus he throws bangers, bro. He does bangers, man. Like,
that boy's a masochist. That man is a masochist.
No, he does.
He. My only critique about this match: do not give us a ref cam if you're not going to use the ref cam.
Was there was a ref cam?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly my point. That's my point right there. Thank you. You got Michael Cole going, Eddie Oranga has the ref cam on. They do a hard shot on the ref with the ref cam on. Never use it. Don't use it. Just if you're not if don't showcase it if you're not going to use it. I'm trying to see what the ref is seeing if you're going to do it. Yeah. Either commit or don't. That's my only critique. I think everyone in this match they did what they needed to do. This shit was fire. It's playing right now.
No, it was great.
It was a fire.
The energy picked up a lot, bro. Like the use of the shillelagh in the match was fucking fire. Braun Breaker, like seeing Sheamus about to do the 10 beats, was like, bro, what the fuck you doing? No, we not doing this right now. The fact that he still ends up doing it on the barricade outside, like
he has a flying shoulder block. And it is the most sexiest shit. It's like, dude, like he's like, bruh, Braun is different. I love it.
and I tweeted out, I was like, man, like I think Braun might be slowly like closing on like one of my favorite wrestlers to like watch because his energy is just 100% effort every time. It's not that he's the best. It's not that he's saying that he's the best in-ring performer. It's that when he gets in the ring, he's giving you 110%. Like I love everything about that. The fucking was it the Breakensteiner that he does all the time? Like Braun is just really fun to watch. He's very, very fun to watch.
People are barking like right now. Right now it's coming out.
Like
the whole arena barking.
And I like that in the presser, they asked him, like, you're looking at, being like the world champion and whatnot. And he was like, no, my focus is being the IC champ, which I think is great because you don't want to shoot too high. Not saying that he can't get it, but right now your focus is being the best Intercontinental champion. And I think that he has the ability to do that. I think maybe not as necessarily as long as Gunther's. I don't want nothing like that, but more so like impactful. When you look at the matches that he's having, the energy he's putting in, like the storylines, like he's getting better. Like he's getting better and he's connecting with the audience. Like I have nothing but high praise for Braun Breaker. Like dude's solid.
Yeah, his vignettes are great. His athleticism is off the charts. Every move he makes is impactful and looks like it hurts. Like he sells. Like dude is great, bro. Dude is great. And
even like Ludwig in this match had a great moment. Like Ludwig was trying to pick apart and be like the real villain here. Like he's picking his spots correctly. Him pulling the ref out as like Sheamus was about to get that 3 count after like the bro kick.
That was a crazy crazy pop too.
Yes, bro. Because everybody was like, "Oh my god, Sheamus is about to get it." Like,
he's finally about to be
that's amazing. That's the shit that like spills over into Raw, and we're like, Sheamus is gonna have some issues with Ludwig, like
because he looked at him like, "You did this to me. You gonna do this? Like I'm about to win. You really did this to me." Like Ludwig's like, "I don't care, bro. I'm here for me. Like it's about to turn up."
I love that because now you like Gunther said, like create your own path, bro. Be your own man, like be you. And we're starting to see Ludwig not be the right hand to Gunther, but actually his own like individual. So I have nothing but high praise for this match. Everybody fucking killed it. Like if they ran this one again, I'd be all for it too. Like they're phenomenal.
And it looked like it was about a 30-minute match based on where I'm at.
I don't have the time. Gunther, Priest 2. Let's talk about it.
They gave him an out, and I was not happy about it.
Early,
they gave him an out, and I was not. I seen it, and I literally yelled. I said, "Oh, that's how Gunther's gonna win."
That's it.
I was hot, and not hot because.
But that's not how you won. That's not how you win, though. And also, that's wrestling. Well, yes, there's always a wrestling match that someone's going to target someone's body part.
Yeah, but before it happened, there was nothing to target. There was nothing to target. They were both going at it. Now, yeah, I know you talking about our boy. That's going to happen in a second. Cool. But my thing was, it gave Gunther the opportunity, which he did in the post press conference afterwards. He talked about it. Oh, I saw an out. I took it, and he said I knew I could win once I seen that out. He literally said it. But before then, he had been doubting himself up to that point, and he took a shot. That's it. That was my only thing I was mad about with Gunther.
Hero disagrees.
It comes off because it comes off too goddamn negative. They had been building up this thought process around Gunther about him not being confident in the champion. He was on shaky ground. All of these things, his confidence was shot. We talked about it before it happened. Him doing something uncharacteristic. He attacked Priest when he wasn't looking. Tried to hit him with a pipe. Like there was all these things. You're building it up, and then he gets an easy out. He doesn't get an easy out though. He thinks he gets an easy out. He sees someone get injured. He's like, oh, I can target this. And then guess what happens? It doesn't fucking work because Finn Balor interrupts, which he's upset with Finn Balor interrupting in the first place. So his confidence is still not there because he still didn't win the match without any help.
We'll see. Based on how he was talking after Survivor Series, he sounds real confident right now.
So I have no issue with the proverbial out, right? My thing was just the timing of it. It was like, okay, he hits his shoulder, he says he's okay, and now like Gunther, you see Gunther's eyes light up when the ref like approaches him about his shoulder, and it's like, oh yeah, he's definitely targeting that. And throughout the match, he was trying to like break that nigga's whole right arm or left arm, or whatever it was.
Everything he did.
He definitely did. When I first saw this match was about to come up, I also tweeted out that like, oh, is Gunther going to lose? Because the energy coming into it, that Priest was unbeatable. He saw everything. Like he tried to attack him with the pipe. He moved out the way. Like, bro, what you doing? Like, I thought Priest for sure was going to get his second chip here. But then once I saw the out, I was like, there we go. And like I said, it wasn't necessarily an out all the way because Finn did come in and interfere in the match. But it was the fact that it was like the apparent like handicap to Priest was there. Like that's what they were going to like kind of focus on in the element of the match. Once again, still a great fucking match to me. This would have been right under. This is right under the IC title match for me. I love this fucking match because it was such a strategical and technical and like the elements that they were pulling from here was like we're gonna break your body down piece by piece, and Priest was fighting his ass off to like, no, I know what you're trying to do. We're not gonna do that. But you saw that he couldn't get certain moves off. He couldn't get the Razor's Edge off. He couldn't pin him correctly because the arm was fucked up. And then at one point, the other arm gets fucked up too. Like he's doing like all this crazy shit to Priest's like arms. Overall, like I said, I have no issues with it. I thought it was a great match. I did see the proverbial out, but you know, it is wrestling. There has to be some kind of story element with it. This is what brings us back. And this is also what's going to bring Priest back. Is that can you do this without targeting me? Does Priest learn from this? Does Priest have a Sami Zayn moment where he figures out how Gunther is working?
Real quick before Hero goes.
Oh, no, I wasn't even going to ask. I didn't know he was asking me a question.
Oh, wait,
No,
that was a question?
No.
Yeah, I thought he was just talking.
So there was what was it, Hero? It was probably maybe a month ago. They were talking about a new like level to Damian Priest being unlocked, or a new character, a new version, more vicious, etc. I think this is going to lead to that, and by this I mean Finn, because if Finn continues to keep interrupting and stopping Priest's momentum, Priest has to go to a place to put Finn away so Finn can't show up. And I think that that's what's going to end up happening. I don't know if there's going to be like a masked version of Priest or whatever the case might be, but that was the first thing I wanted to point out. The second thing is Priest is so damn good in the ring, bro. Like he like him selling his injuries. I remember the first when he went with had the San Juan street fight with Bad Bunny, I legit thought he was hurt. And like he sells at that level every time, and it's believable. And I gotta commend him because he's fucking amazing. He's dope.
No, yeah, all praise for Priest. Like that championship run did what it was supposed to do and elevate him to a whole different stratosphere. Even like the current like theme and package that he has now, to where he's wearing the black and red instead of the black and purple. Like he's becoming his own individual. And it's working. Like I didn't know he can get here, and he got here. So shout out to Priest for sure.
He's got to put Finn away somehow.
But in doing so, when do we ever get Finn Balor back?
I mean, he has another level that's untapped right now too. You know, the demon could always come back. You know what I'm saying?
That would be nice if it did. But how many times have you seen the demon that he's won now? Or that he's lost now?
The last two times the demon has lost, and it was because of Roman, and it was because of Edge, which the Roman one and whatever, but the Edge one was a mistake.
He definitely should have won. Yeah,
he should have beat Edge.
Vince was still booking, so you know.
Brood. All right, anyway.
Yeah. A vampire stronger than a demon. I don't know. Who knows how that works?
That's not a thing.
It's not.
Yeah. it's not a thing.
I don't know why my head went to like Castlevania. Like it just went to like the most like fantasy shit possible right now. I was like, we right. Maybe a demon can't be a vampire. Maybe it can. I don't know.
I don't think
there's a story there.
I don't think Finn losing to Damian in that kind of match. Now, if Finn pulls out the demon and he loses, then that'll hurt him. But I think Finn and Damian having a feud and Finn losing, I don't think it hurts Finn because he's already lost a lot. But I think he could start picking up after that, I think. But in order to continue to elevate Priest, you can't keep having elevate Priest. You can't keep having Finn fuck up his chances.
All right, giving Finn and Damian a stipulation match, the one to end it all. What is you guys' stipulation? My choice: last man standing.
Ooh. I like last man standing. Personally, I need something with a DQ or Judgment Day has to be barred. It has to be head up, 1-on-1. It can't even be in the cage because they always find a way to get in the cage. Like there has to be I don't even want to say a gauntlet match where he he takes care of all the Judgment Day so they can't come back. There has to be something that they can't be involved. It needs to be them two one-on-one.
I don't know how you get that.
Yeah.
I can't think of a match that does it. You do hardcore, they're pulling up. There's no DQ, they're pulling up. Like Last Man Standing, there's no DQ. Yeah, they're pulling up. Like it's just.
Yeah, how do you bar Judgment Day from jumping in? I don't think you can.
Yeah, if he employs help from someone, like they gotta put them in a hospital. Like they gotta make it so they can't show up. Like it's just I don't know. But
well, let's just say this then. Like in the perfect situation, what's the stipulation match? If Judgment Day was barred,
Hell in a Cell.
Give me an Iron Man.
I haven't seen an Iron Man in a minute.
Give me an Iron Man. Give me an Iron Man. If Judgment Day can't come in, give me an Iron Man match. Give me we haven't seen. I haven't seen one since I was a kid. So,
yeah.
But give me an Iron Man match at a PLE. It could be. Well, shit, we're in Rumble. Damn. Yeah, it would have to be Elimination Chamber or Rumble or something.
Or it could be it could
Saturday night.
It could main event a Raw.
The
last 30 minutes of Raw.
It would have to be longer than 30 minutes for Iron Man, though.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Iron Man matches, the typical Iron Man match is like 20 minutes.
He's thinking like old school Iron Man matches. Old school Iron Man matches like hour and a half shit. Like you're not getting that at all. Well, the whole last hour of a Raw being like an Iron Man match, I would love it because I love wrestling. But god damn, bro,
you're for sure getting shenanigans that way because there's no way they're going to just keep a bunch of people off of TV for a fucking hour.
No, not
that's what I'm saying. You guys, y'all are the one that said make it a Raw. I didn't say make it a Raw. Make it a PLE. It doesn't have to be an hour. I didn't say an hour either, though. It could be somewhere in between. Like it doesn't have
like
to
a 45. You want a 45-minute match?
Give us a 40-minute match.
You're not giving us a 45-minute match.
You said 45.
I said 30 at the most, but like.
Okay, there's gonna be too many false finishes in a 30-minute match for the Iron Man to be believable in my mind.
Okay, the last one that happened, it was Dolph versus Seth, like 2019, I think.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
So we're due for one. We're due for an Iron Man match.
I'll take an Iron Man. Give me Finn and Damien and an Iron Man to end the feud.
The one reason I do like the Iron Man is that if there is DQ, then the point goes to someone else. So Finn could be like, please don't fucking fuck this up because you're going to give him a point.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I like that. Otherwise, I'm saying Hell in a Cell or the Last Man Standing. But if Last Man's like, I'd say Hell in a Cell.
How long we got to wait for Hell in a Cell though? I won't say that was the problem, but if it went from a gimmick match to everyone was in a Hell in a Cell and you're bringing it back out, I feel like after CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, that Hell in a Cell match needs to be elevated. It needs to be a reason. It needs to be a blood feud, and this is a reason, but I just don't think.
I don't think they pushed a blood feud yet.
Yeah, you don't think so?
I mean, this is already
for Finn and Priest. I don't think we've seen it yet. Like, I think like there's been little like, you know, I'm gonna interfere here, I'm gonna stop you from winning, but I haven't seen the blood element of like, bro, I hate you, right? Like,
no, that nigga Finn hates Damien.
Yeah,
I need to see that from Priest. I need to see Priest's side of it too.
Real quick, that the match with Dolph and Seth, that was 30 minutes. So I feel like a 30-minute Iron match is fine.
Yeah, solid.
All right, I'm with it. Y'all got me. I'll take it.
I mean, if it's with commercial breaks, it's different. But you know,
it's gonna be a commercial break, so it's definitely gonna be like a 22 or some shit like that.
I mean, if it's on Raw, Netflix, baby.
That's true. That's true. Unless you ain't got the pay for the one with no ads, because they definitely got ads on Netflix now. OG Bloodline versus Solo Bloodline, main event. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
It was good. It was really good.
I like this shit a lot. Like I like all the teaser spots to where, you know, just them in a like Punk immediately when he comes out goes after Bronson Reed, right? Like entrance is going. He's looking at him like, yo, I want that. I like the whole element of, you know, Roman blocking him from going out.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's little stories that they're telling here, right? Once again, I don't know when Punk gets to Roman, but they're definitely flirting that line. I think the MVP of the match is probably Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Big Jim. Big Jim.
I think
Big Jim moves.
I think Jimmy went out there and showed the fuck out. Actually, they all did, but Jimmy was definitely one like he
I
has
got
something
this
to prove.
in my bag.
Yeah,
I can do this too.
It was
For
cool.
sure.
It was really cool that they all came out separately.
And Jay
That
got the last. He got the last entrance. The Yeet Man.
Right. But since he started, it kind of made sense. But like since we before we didn't know he was starting, him getting the last one, I was like, oh shit, like really, Jay? But after Paul and Roman? But since he started, it did make a little more sense to where it's,
shit,
like,
man.
it's still
I have
wild.
never heard somebody's entrance come after Roman's. Like what?
Yeah.
And Punk. Like what the?
Bro,
Oh.
Jay is him, bro. Jay is him, bro.
Yeah, I was thoroughly surprised by that. I was like, when Roman came out, I was like, hey, where the fuck is Jay at? Like, did Jay come out? And then I was like, oh shit, yeah, I like it. I like that shit a lot.
They messed up on Jay's number because they said this was his second, and this is definitely his third War Games. He's 2-1, to my knowledge, or no, I think he's 3-0 in War Games. For whatever reason, in the graphic it says his second War Games. Don't know why they messed that up. Not sure how they did. Also, Tama Tonga climbing the cage that way brought me back to Super Mario Brothers. You know what I'm saying? If you played those castle levels, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the cage. Yeah,
University. You know what I'm saying? With a doctor.
I was like, why is he climbing the cage like a toddler after a nap? Like he's just like trying to get the fuck out. I'm like, I have never seen anybody climb like horizontally. He wasn't even vertically climbing the cage, yo. And they had a solid opening. Jay and Tama definitely had a really, really solid opening. I definitely like that. Big Bronson Reed. If there's anybody who should definitely permanently be part of the Solos bloodline, it's Big Bronson Reed. The man went out there and had a fucking field day. He also pulled a Copeland and looks like he might have fucked up both his legs.
There's
it looked like it was his ankle.
Yeah, there's a slowed up. There's a slowed down version.
Essentially.
Yeah, and you can see his ankle like collapse. I don't know if that was. I don't know because they zoomed in so far. It was the pixels or what, but it looked like when the slowed down version, it looked like his.
He shouldn't have been.
It looked bad. It looked bad.
I want to be as objective as possible, but I have to call out a dumb spot when I see it. I think that was a dumb spot. I think there's too much momentum for him. Like, too much mass, my bad. So when you're coming down like that, bro, like, yo, ankle can't tolerate that, bro.
He said he was going to go viral. He did. And that's what his aim was. He said he wanted to go viral in this match. And he even tweeted this morning, moments are for injuries are temporary, moments are forever. And he posted a picture of him jumping off of the
for sure. Because it's a big moment. It's huge. But it's like, dog, that's a brutal spot, yo. Like
Roman would have died. He would have died on Impact. That would have been it.
Shit, Roman did a dive spot. I didn't think Roman was going to do it. I don't think I've ever seen Roman do a dive spot. Like,
we talked about it because it's like, I don't think he's done that since 2019, dog.
I was like, he was climbing the cage, and I was like, oh, I know this fool not about to jump. There's no way he's about to jump. And so he gets down, and then he jumps. I'm like, oh, shit, Roman's doing a dive spot? Never seen that. Nah, Tribal Chief ain't. He acting totally different. Definitely different.
This means something to him. This means something to me.
So Punk enters the match, right? And after being shunned out by Roman looks like he's about to go out. Punk cuts him off and goes. He then picks up the toolbox, the trusty toolbox from Hell in a Cell, which I like being Punk's signature thing. That's kind of cool.
He's getting active.
He face plants. He face plants Jacob Fatu.
Well, wait. Because before that, he beat the dog shit out of Tonga Lord. I think Tonga Lord rolled away and was looking up and like, damn, dog, you still hitting me? Like, he kept, like, Tonga tried to run away and like, all right, hit somebody else. CM Punk was not having it. He beat the dog shit out of Tonga Lord, bro. And the reason why I said that is because it's going to juxtapose what you're about to say because I have a comment. So yeah,
I just saw a clip of what you're about to talk about too, and I just it's so good. It's so good.
He face plants Jacob Fatu on his toolbox, and this motherfucker pops up, no sells the shit out of this tool, starts shimmying on him. Right? We talked about it. We talked about Jacob Fatu entering territory of being like
the Fiend,
God
Undertaker,
territory.
you know?
Like, this didn't help that shit at all, bro. That nigga popped up, was waiting for him, and gave him one of the smoothest pop-up Samoan drops, bro. Like, yo.
A couple things. One, I was scared that CM Punk was going to get hurt on that pop-up Samoan drop. To me, that shows how safe Jacob is, which I'll also call back real quick to the SmackDown, even though it was pre-recorded, on Friday. After he tries to put Jey Uso through the table doesn't break. The first thing he does is roll off and grab Jay's hands to make sure Jay is cool. Yeah. So, to me, that lets me know that Jacob is safe in the ring. He cares about his opponents, etc. Fast forward back into the ring. I thought Punk was going to hurt something after that. But the pop-up from the toolbox, I see a lot of people complaining, oh, he's too strong. Where's the sell? He's no selling. There's a difference between Fatu and Tongalo and everybody else getting hit with the toolbox. That's one. And the reason why is because he's the enforcer, the Samoan werewolf. He's supposed to be strong. Two, he doesn't no sell. That was the one thing in that match he didn't sell on. Is to show the impact of how strong he is, and that's not going to hurt him. He sold everything else in that match. Even so much so we thought he was injured when he missed his spot, back.
The moonsault,
The moonsault, yeah.
That's how you knew that was their out. That's how you knew they were going to lose, you know.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, that was out. You sound like a bitter hater right now.
I'm the hater.
Go ahead, get it off. Yeah, you do. You do. You sound like you're hating.
Usually I will.
Okay.
Usually I am.
He's so good, bro. He's so good, bro. He's so good. To be fair, when I was watching this match, I was like, "There's no way you have both Jacob and Reed and you lose." I immediately thought like, New Bloodline was winning. Like, there's no fucking way, bro. Like, these two are the most like unstoppable men right now in wrestling.
See,
I for sure thought that you were.
My logic was because like DT said, we were watching together. Like with the women's one, I was like, it's hard to bet against Bianca. Like Bianca just by herself,
sure.
It is, and you have Bianca and Rhea. I'm like, that's like Goku Vegeta. It's hard to bet against that. And with the men's, the reason I was like, baby faces are winning this is because I can't imagine Roman losing two big ass matches back to back. I can't see it. No. I just couldn't see it. Like, so I was like, yeah, there's no like, and then also in the same argument, Roman and Punk, and you got Jay, and there's Sammy, and and that's no shot to Big Jim, but if we're talking like power ranking wise, like, I'm sorry, like you got you got Phil and Joe, and I'm gonna use real names just for a hot second. That you're not beating that. Like Roman ain't losing twice, bro, in a row. I don't know. I just couldn't see.
So there was I think this match was definitely chaotic because there was definitely a lot of injuries. Like we saw that, we talked about Reed and his ankle. I think they said Jimmy fucked up his toe. Like Jimmy was out there like everybody looked like they left this match battered and fucking bruised. At this if there was ever a moment where you realize like, damn, I'm 40, it was them in a War Games match. Like, fuck.
Which goes to my point before about how I didn't think he was going to be Punk because he literally just was like, I ain't got that many matches like that in me, and then he just pulled up War Games. Yeah, and
that's the last time you see Punk in the cage.
Yeah, he protected himself.
Yeah. With this, Solo takes one of the best spots of the night.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. It's fucking
the surrounding moments where everybody, this is him. He's looking like, I'm still the tribal chief. I love the fact you stayed 10 toes on it. Like, like I don't care how many y'all is. I'm gonna attack y'all. I respect that. Yeah. I tweeted out. I said he ate them finishers like Denzel did them Russian mafia bullets. Like I needed that from Solo. He sat there and took everything. He took all 5 finishers, bro. Like, I respect it. Like, nobody's business. So with this, where do we go from here? I think right now we're in the biggest like unknown space for wrestling. I have no idea where the bloodline angle goes from here. I don't know if the OGs, they just split up like this Raw. They were like, oh hey, we're separate again. Like, what the hell is going to happen here? What's your theories? Your thoughts?
It's really. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because at the end of the day, it's about the Ulafala, and we still haven't got The Rock yet. So honestly, I have no idea. That's one of the reasons. Yeah, I have no idea. If the baby faces were going to lose, it was only going to be because they had to keep them together. I thought, at least that was my hypothesis, but now that the baby faces won, and the end game is this Ulafala, yeah, I don't know. And then we didn't get a Rock appearance, which everyone thought we would, myself included. But yeah, the fact that the whole lot, they were doing a lot of extra filming after that match, but it was all for photo ops, which honestly that's big business, because all those those are gonna be we're gonna see those pictures on when you go to like Roman Reigns
everywhere.
You're gonna see that picture with him and like all that shit. So, but yeah, as far as what the storyline does, Solo lost one, Roman lost one, but at the end of the day, it's still about the Ulafala, right? So how do we get there? And now Jim, we know for a fact Jim is injured. I mean, it's a toe injury. I don't know how long he'll be out, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
And the thing with like Jim is that like they Bloodline don't really wrestle a lot on TV, like not as much as they used to. So where if they're sitting Jim for 4 to 6 weeks, for a broken toe, that's typically the time range. Like he'll be fine. I think he'll still be up and doing promos and stuff like that.
I would hope so. And we need to get Jim some wins, because we're another thing. And I'm not trying to spark any flames or nothing, but again, another reason why Big Jim was the MVP for me, because he didn't look for no weapons. He did a corkscrew fucking dive thing, and I was like, it brought me back to that question I asked you a little bit ago, and it's like, I think Jim might be the better worker, bro. Like Jim is really. I know who's more popular, but that was like. I mean, I might have to watch that Mania match again, but I don't know if that was on Jim. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, about the Mania match, because they talked about it twice. Their time got cut because they had to do the big match. So their match was the one that got cut. They didn't get to do all the stuff that they wanted to do, which is why Jay said not even like 2 weeks ago, if I could have any match back or do another match again, it would be the match with my brother. Yeah, we didn't get to really show y'all what we could do because we on a team, we all a team, and we were the match that had to essentially get cut. So he said that. Yeah. So, and definitely with Jimmy's performance in this, it definitely shows that there is another level to both of the Usos and their ability to work in the ring.
The moment when they were working together, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the moment when they were working together, when Jimmy got in the ring or came in, and it's like there was a moment. It was like, "Fuck, man, I missed the Uso. I think I might be ready for another run, real quick." Like, there was like the chemistry just never died. Sorry to cut you off, but I had to.
As far as the storyline concerned, to answer your question, the biggest question that's out there right now is, what is the favor? I have a couple of theories. The obvious one that everyone thinks about is, does CM Punk get a chance to wrestle Roman, or a chance at The Rock, or something like that? Something to do with the bloodline. I personally think that CM Punk is probably looking for Heyman's favor. Does he need it? No. And when I say favor, I mean Heyman's representation. And I think that's what's going to drive the wedge deeper between Roman and CM Punk to build that story up. Because you've seen it at their promo when they sat down. You've seen it when CM Punk came in and saved the bloodline when Heyman announced it, where he was like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "I'm here for the wise men." And he was like, "I don't need your help." He was like, "I'm not here to help you. I'm here to help Paul." And then Roman was like, "That's my wise man." And then CM Punk was like, "We'll see." So I think that the favor is going to be representation for CM Punk from Paul Heyman at some point. And that is going to drive the rift. Because again, Paul Heyman disappeared. Roman couldn't find him. You could also say Roman disappeared. Paul Heyman couldn't find him, etc. There's those things that's going there. So we'll see what that is, but that's what I think. That's my thought process behind the storyline of what that favor is.
This is cold. Because, like, real quick, it's like, if it is, managerial services, if it is the representation of him in his corner, let's say Punk wins Rumble, right? Around this time, Mania's happening, Roman fights Rock, but he has no wise man to help him figure out what to do, right? Roman's never faced anybody as big as, like, Rock. At least as the threat level of final boss, as what they're they've been saying. And to approach this match by himself without the counsel of the wise man would be a huge story plot point. On the flip side, if Punk wins Rumble and fights against Gunther, or I would doubt Cody, but maybe it's Gunther, you want to be in that corner. I think the bigger story is that Punk versus Seth, and you have Wiseman in the corner while he's fighting Seth. I think because Wiseman has been here before with Seth, he can give Punk credible information on how to take down Seth Rollins, which I think is the Mania moment or Mania match is Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah. The other thing to keep kind of an eye on, when they said it in the press conference to kind of answer or follow up what Hero was asking about of what happens to the bloodline now. One of the comments Sammy made, which was a great analogy, he was like, the bloodline for him is like the mothership. Like he can always kind of come back home because there's so much chemistry. And he viewed himself as like the foil piece between each of the characters that help bring out different sides of them. And so it's always a way for them to come back together, the four of them, if they need to. But even Jay said, yeah, like we're our own characters, we're our own people, but we can always kind of flex back together when we need to. So more likely than not, they're probably going to do their own separate thing again until the OG bloodline is needed. But they're probably going to be needed again before all of this is said and done with Solo, for sure. So, and The Rock.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure. Because Solo's going to need something to do for Mania. So there's no way Solo's not on the Mania card. He's Jacob. They're on the card for sure.
Yeah.
And you might do a Sammy Usos versus Solo and three of the four out of the bloodline.
Real quick too. He did. He meaning Sammy also mentioned Kevin Owens. So in the press conference at the end, so he knows in a way that Kevin Owens is on the horizon for him. So you might see that play again too, in the bloodline playing that.
This show had just wrap it up. No Cody, no WWE champion on the show. Would Cody have added to the Survivor Series element? Would have made it better? Were you okay with him not being on the show? What's the thought process on no Cody here, knowing that we already know that Saturday Night Main Event is going to be his match or his show? How was it okay show without the champion being present?
Yeah, he wasn't needed in my opinion. I'll let Hero go and then I'll come back. That was just a show.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming.
Are you?
Oh no, I'm fine. Mine's is quick. Pause. But yeah, no, I don't think it was needed. Because then we got 2 mid-card titles on the show, which we haven't. I can't remember the last time we had 2 mid-card titles on the show. And yeah, like you said, we know where his feud is going. If anything, it would have been forced to add a little segment, even if it was a backstage segment. It would have felt forced because it's why are you even in Canada? You have no reason to be here.
Real quick, and I think it's good because it gives KO and Cody their moment at Saturday Night Main Event and to the mid card piece. And I think you guys may have mentioned it before on a pod I wasn't on, if I remember right. But this now opens the door for Saturday Night Main Event to have the tag team belts on the card. So, but specifically, because there's more story around the SmackDown ones.
Correct.
So those are the ones that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
they do need to do something with the Raw ones for sure. But with Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, really Tommaso Ciampa is lost his mind.
I did not like
and
that
so
promo. I'm sorry.
The most recent one,
yeah, where he was just yelling at Johnny. It was like, dude, you're too animated. It's like it was almost too over the top for me. And I've been watching Ciampa for a while, and I don't know. He was moving his hands a lot. He was just yelling at parts he didn't need to yell at. I don't know. it was kind of
he passionate, bro. He felt like they got screwed out of their titles, and then now some new guys show up. They have the titles. Like, he has a legitimate gripe.
Oh no, he does.
Has a legitimate gripe. And the Street Profits have a legitimate gripe, and they've been more aggressive. And I didn't get to be on the pod last week and talk to you guys about it, but they're not heels. I don't think they're going to be heels, but their attacks and their moves and everything that they're doing is going to be more aggressive because they want the belts. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for Saturday Night Main Event to have those tag belts on the line. And hopefully just me, I want to see the Profits win it. But I think that opens it up with Cody not being on Survivor Series. That means Roman and all them shouldn't technically be, the Bloodline shouldn't be on the Saturday Night Main Event, which if we have a PLE with no Bloodline in it, that would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
So
very interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. I don't know if did it get announced this week or was it last week? The women's IC belt. So
it was this week. It happened this
week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts, right? I think the clear cut favorite that I've been seeing online is that they want Dakota Kai to be the women's IC champion and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pull up the bracket to where if they have the bracket already.
I don't think they have a full bracket yet. They have the first match announced because it's going to be Dakota versus Shayna versus Katana Chance. But I don't think they have the full bracket out yet.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. I don't think the Intercontinental Championship tournament can be done in time. But correct me if I'm wrong. The tournament for the Women's United States Championship, are they on pace to make it to Saturday Night SmackDown or Saturday Night?
The finals will be a main event.
Okay. I couldn't remember if that was the case or they were going to showcase it on like SmackDown or whatever.
No.
But
finals is main event.
Okay. Cool. That was my question.
So, so depending on when they start the IC, it might be the debut of Netflix.
I like that too.
That would be big. I
think that's hard.
That would be my most educated guess. Is that the finals will be
that's hard.
Netflix January 6th.
Any favorites that y'all want to see win the women's IC belt? Like any y'all personal?
I need a bracket.
Yeah,
I need a bracket.
I gotta see the bracket.
But I'm leaning towards Kai. And it's similar. It's similar reasons why people are leaning on Michin on the other side / Medium. There are people that have been working hard for a long ass time. Dakota Kai, in her case, like she's had multiple injuries, but she's never had a singles title on the main roster or on NXT. So I do understand the push for it, and I'm fine with that. There's also a Zelina Vega. She wants one. I can understand it. She was tweeting or something the other day because they share a podcast together, or whatever. But she was like, "Man, if it was us in the finals, I'm just gonna cry." And that might be the route that they go. I need to see a bracket, but as of right now, I'm leaning with King Coda. So
yeah, I'm trying to find the bracket right now. They keep just pulling up images of the belt and
because I could see a Lyra making.
I want Shayna. I want Submission Magician. I want her. I want Shayna 1v1 Shayna. Get Shayna away from PFC Pure Fusion. Let me get the remnants of what's left of Shayna, of NXT Shayna, where she's just tapping everybody up. I love that idea.
I wouldn't mind Zoe Stark in the
I was gonna say
tournament.
Zoe got the cleanest finisher right now. Zoe definitely, her finisher definitely like top 5 for me. Like
throw them Z's up, baby.
Stark
House, baby. I'm here for it.
Do you think they go babyface heel for the belts, for the women's mid-card belts? Do you think they'll both be baby faces? Like,
yeah, because those. I mean, if you're talking Kai, you're talking Michin. those will both be the faces, and
I'm
those are the
still
ones
Chelsea
that most
Green.
people are rallied behind. But I wouldn't mind if Chelsea Green won, because she also has been killing it for the last year that I've been watching too. But personally, I feel like it should be Mia Yim first. But that's just me.
And Chelsea Green, like, as much as I said before, like, just the first one being like a comedic kind of like act thing, she's hella entertaining. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not comedic, but like she's very fucking entertaining to where you need that on TV. She creates spots, she creates moments. Like, she's walking around like, oh, she still smells from the trash can. Like, you know, like there's all these different moments where Chelsea Green is like, you know, a huge part of like what WWE's been doing like this past year. So I can see it. I can see Chelsea Green win it, or Meechin. That was the two up there.
Those are the only two for me.
I think
anybody
had
else
a comment.
Question.
Somebody commented on one of the videos, and they were like, you know, the finals is going to be Bayley versus Meechin, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, that's not a bad two. To where if Meechin can get a win over Bayley, that's a huge fucking push. Like, that would especially be if it's like non-interference. Like, if this was just a regular, she just wins her straight up for sure. Knowing WWE, there may be, you know, what we just talked about, the out. There may be the proverbial out in that match, but I would like to see Meechin get a clean win over Bayley. I think that'd be fucking insane. Well,
somebody ended Jade Cargill's life, so we're gonna find out.
Yeah, that was my next one. Who attacked Jade? Which all the reports are saying that she's not really injured. So who knows? And I mean, you know, my saying stays. Like, to me, it's always a work until it's not. But like, you know, it came out as like, oh no, she's actually fine. This is all part of storyline. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We gotta let that play out.
If people just shut up and let things go the way they would go, then the company wouldn't have to say it, and then we could believe like the actual injury. I'm still looking for a like a bracket, but Bleacher Report just has the names of the women that they know are currently involved so far. So they've got Natalie, they've got Alba Fire, they've got Raquel Rodriguez, we've got Lyra Valkyria, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky are the ones that they know are in it right now.
This should be interesting.
I wonder if they'll switch. Shot. Yeah, I wonder if they'll switch Io with Kari.
I wouldn't be mad at Nat getting it either. Like, Nat is a good proverbial like first championship kind of like person to where she's gonna have great fucking matches if they give her like the opportunity and the time. But yeah, back to your question of who attacked Jade. All I know is that whoever did it, immediate heat as a heel. Like, that's like, and I would use it in the way I would turn a babyface heel, like somebody who you thought was like, damn, I don't think you can do this, and just immediately into a heel. But it has to be the right person. I thought that earlier people was like, oh, it could be Trent, like, or Naomi. Like, Naomi kind of injured her. It could be her. I don't know. I really don't know. I like the fact that I don't know either, because I have no idea who would do this or what makes sense. Chelsea's going after the title. Piper's going after the title right now. Bianca was in the match, so it's not her.
Yeah, my dumb ass almost like, oh, what if it was Bianca? But she was literally.
I mean, there was people because even Big E actually mentioned it. But yeah, there was a tweet where someone was like, "Did you see how she sung her own lyrics? I never needed you at all." Like, as she was walking to the ring for that match, it's like the lyrics that's been in her song since she's ever been a part of WWE. Those same lyrics, and also how would she like logically like, and they would like, let's say it is Bianca, they would have to make as much sense as possible, because logically, how will she be able to attack her person, get nice and spiffy to make it to the match without any suspicion, and then why would she leave the opportunity to have another title? Just to play it off, just to be the evil villain. Like, we've never seen that from like, they would have to make that. There's a lot of disbelief we would have to like have for that to make sense to me, for it to be Bianca.
I don't know. Metaphor Lash, like, do we think that could be a thing? Shout out to Lash. Lash had a great
I was
match.
about to say,
shout out to fucking Lash.
Oh my gosh, killing it.
Working. Metaphor girls, like, that's who they've been beefing with. Like, but even that's extreme for them.
Yeah,
But then again, no, it's not because NXT just fucking put a bat to fucking Rhea's face a couple weeks ago. So
I mean, NXT
clearly NXT's on some other shit.
Yeah, NXT parking lot is not safe.
They what was that? I think it was this past week. If it wasn't this past week, it was the week before. Somebody got put through the windshield on NXT in the parking lot, just in a brawl. There was a big ass brawl that happened outside, and somebody they cracked the windshield, shattered it. I was like, God damn.
NXT nothing to play with. They like NXT is the WWE version of the YNs. Like,
do you? Oh, it took me a second. That's crazy. they out there with the shiesties on.
With shiesties, and I understand it now.
Yeah. Everybody's been talking about it, so I'll bring it up because I don't know if we talked about it together, but is it in Charlotte's wheelhouse to sneak attack somebody? To sneak attack. And if it is Charlotte, what is her motivation? Because they've only been on screen for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I don't.
And that was last year. Was that last year? Has it been a whole year? Yeah, it's been a whole year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I don't think it's out of the wheelhouse, but I don't think I would personally unveil Charlotte like that. Like, and if you did, would this moment be bigger than the Rumble moment where she comes out at Rumble? Like, I don't know. It's not out the wheelhouse because Charlotte is Charlotte. There is no motivation. Mm-hmm. Charlotte just want to be the best and proves that she's the best.
Watch it be Candice. Watch it be Candice. I bet it was Candice.
Candice LeRae?
Yeah, it was Candice.
That would be funny.
I feel like this is an episode of Who Shot Mr. Burns. We might not be whoever the result is, we might not be happy with it. It might just be okay. It was Candice.
What if she just failed? No.
Okay. We're gonna get out of here, but last question I have before we get out of here. Does the 10-year anniversary is up to today? If people listen to it, the 10-year anniversary of the New Day is happening today. We're all leaning for, the hopeful mend that, hey, we can figure this out. Big E comes in and saves us. And I like how they also, Barrett was poking at him yesterday.
Oh, that was great. That was fantastic.
Barrett is still like, yo, what you doing? Your boys over here, breaking up, 10-year anniversary. What you doing? And E didn't really have anything to really say about it, but
his whole energy changed.
Yeah, everything changed. The demeanor, all that changed. If the proverbial breakup happens, do we want to see Kof Woods Saturday Night Main Event?
Yep.
Yeah. If that's the route.
Yep.
I'm gonna be watching this shit nervously. I've already been biting my nails the last couple of days. I'm gonna blame it on that.
Hey,
bruh.
Hey, when we watched, he came over my house last Monday to watch it. And he sat on the floor, and then as soon as that segment came on screen, this man just laid down, turned away from the TV. He was holding his head. I was like, oh, my dog really fucked up behind this shit. Bro, he really hurt.
It's cinema, but I'm hurting, bro. It's literally like watching your parents fight. I brought. It's it reminds me of this one time I was 7. He's like, Dad, you brought up a real life example. I was like, bro.
I was like, you need a hug, bro. I had to hug my dog. I was like, you need a hug, bro. Come on, bring it in.
I'm not ready,
bro. There were some words being said, bro. They are going full force.
I need
the man brought up Brock, bro. Nobody's brought up Brock.
Yeah, I need it to be Kofi now. It has to be Kofi that turns. I need that. I need that.
Up Kofi.
I need that.
I'm Hall of Fame before the group.
Yeah. Yep. Y'all
needed me. And I'm like, ooh, talk that shit.
Man, there was some spicy bars back and forth, bro. I was
spicy bars.
Can we just on, bro?
Look.
You're not good enough.
Yeah, man, He said so
Oh
much.
my
Like,
God.
you know why me and E got belts? You not good enough. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
tough.
And he's like, if it wasn't you, he's like, what? If it wasn't me, you finally get mad. I was like, fuck, bro, y'all gotta stop this shit, bro.
Yeah, see, look.
And then you see Kofi,
Hero is
bro. It's
see traumatized, bro.
ooh, fuck.
And you saw Kofi kicking the trash can later on in the show and shit, bro. I was like, bro.
I loved it, bro. I love this segment. The build up was building up, and you saw like the irritation, but when they full force mad at each other, I'm
Oh my
emotionally
God.
invested, bro. I love this shit.
Yeah, I'm ready. I cannot wait. Wait. I think I work too. I'm like,
I wish I could look at other timelines, because what would happen? Like, where would this story be if the Odyssey Jones shit never happened? Like, I just wish I could like peek into the multiverse and be like, where would this be if we never lost it?
That's a good ass question.
So look. So what you're saying? No, I'm not even gonna make the joke. I'm not gonna make the joke. But I feel like you would probably appreciate the fact that he was around, so this wouldn't be the thing. I think that's what you're trying to get at.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they would be fighting this way. I don't know.
See, look, see. But I mean, that was a great springboard for them to have something to fight about that it turned into something else.
Yeah,
but dog.
Congrats and kudos to the writing team and the talent and etc. Because they pivoted, and this is this story.
Yeah,
my eyes are literally watering right now. I'm thinking about like all the shit, bro. Like this shit is like, this could be a Festival of Friendship like 3.0, bro. Like I don't know, man. Whew. If we just see a random Trouble in Paradise, bro, I might fall to my knees, my nigga.
Oh man,
or vice versa, or whatever. Fuck, Woods just does a limit breaker elbow. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Not my dad's. Why are my dads fighting?
Yo, look, Odyssey Jones being like the New Day's anchor being, it's fucking hilarious. Like that's funny. That's funny as fuck. Like taking him out fucked up their entire timeline.
Yo,
that's insane, yo. Oh, hey, fuck, that's good.
Now that you mention like the moves, there's no way for Woods to do, unless they're gonna be in the ring, but there's no way for Woods to do any of his moves that would pop like that without him having to get set up for it. So that makes me think that it would have to be Kofi that would hit the Trouble in Paradise, because he could hit that shit off of anything. Like he could just get mad and just pow and pop it, and that would, I think, shit, that's a great idea by you, Hero. That's the moment that Kofi turns. He gets tired. I'm tired of this shit. E, you can't stop it. E, move out the way. E, don't move, and he pow back of the neck, and then E's cool, but back of the neck, Kofi the bad guy now.
Hey, Kofi hitting the Trouble in Paradise on the back of E's head would send me spiraling, bro.
See, I'm telling you,
that's a level of like chaos that I love, but that shit would have me like, oh, he did not fucking do that shit.
It would mean something. That
in some ones, like, Kofi doing Trouble in Paradise from Jordan ones. Oh man, that.
I can't wait. Oh, come on, give it to me.
No,
yeah, I'm ready.
That's gonna be a fucking moment. Let's see. The gear also gonna say a lot too. Whatever they wear is gonna say a lot, especially because last week was the Goku Black shit. So like they've been teasing certain things, man. I'm ready. But we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll be back next week with a regular episode and then another one after that. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to the Blue Sky community. We definitely got a lot of views from y'all. You guys were fucking killing it. Once again, subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Leave us a rating. We definitely appreciate everything that you guys do for us, all the support and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. Shout out to everybody once again listening, and peace out.
Too sweet.
I love you, Hero.